Live. Look, see, it might be Washington there. I don't know where this video came from. Looks like it. Looks like it could be Montana or Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.
Don't know why I always seem to get a frog in my throat right before that video ends. It's like I've instilled some kind of nervousness. Like I'll sit there right before that video ends because it automatically mutes me. I'm like, anyway, for everyone watching, tonight we have Miss Karen Beisel, a hospice nurse since 2008, and she's a seasoned vet. And let me just offer a disclaimer real quick before we get going into this. And I'm going to mute you, Karen, real quick. This episode's about the experiences of someone that's worked with patients, keeping them comfortable before their transition to the other side, and what may or may not occur. I'm not making light of what happens or enjoying the fact that it's happening, obviously. I was even in the room when my grandfather died holding his hand, so I've been there. All we're doing here is discussing what professionals observe at the transition phase. One of the purposes of this podcast was to prove, be it anecdotally, that the paranormal side exists, and hospice nurses are close to ground zero as you can get. I mean, they're right there in the epicenter. So please understand, I approach this subject in these stories nothing but respect for the people involved. So I don't want to get any hate mail or like you're just making light of it. No, I know you're sad your grandmother passed away, but it was going to happen anyway to not make it, to also not make light of it. And this is just kind of an observation. So with that, we're going to do this, and I'm really looking forward to it. Karen's here. She's been looking forward to it all week. So let's get into it. My first question, did you go to school to be a hospice nurse, CNA, right out of the gate? And because it seems like it takes a special soul to do this. And how'd you decide to get into this particular area of the medical field?
I did go to school, and what made me decide to do it was I had my own house cleaning business for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I was always drawn to the elderly, and I just felt the need to want to help them. And I think it's because I had such a close relationship with both my grandmas, mm-hmm. and I just took a liking to them. And then from there, I decided I'm going to go into this field.
Okay, so you already had like a foot toward the notion.
Yeah, my grandma on my dad's side was a nurse. I have a picture of her with her old nurse's uniform and everything.
Okay, so you weren't just a nurse, and all of a sudden you get out of there, and the first job you have is hospice. You're like, oh, I kind of like this, so you just wanted to do it to begin with.
Yeah, that came later. I worked in skilled nursing facilities, and mm-hmm. I was always drawn to the person that was dying or passing away, because back then I thought, oh my gosh, this person is alone, and I don't want them to be alone. So I'd be the one in the room, like swabbing out their mouth and mm-hmm. holding their hand. And I guess I just didn't think anything of it. It was just a natural reaction for me.
So you were kind of drawn to it then.
I was very drawn to it. Yes.
That's good. I always wonder about how people get into that. Like it's not just like scrubbing floors or giving people shots.
No, I know. You just have to, I don't know. I just have I got a lot of love in my heart, you know?
I would say you'd have to.
Do is love people, and I didn't want anyone to be alone.
Like we had all the in-care facility or the in-care people that came to my grandparents' place, and they were great grandparents, and they were getting older, and it was either really, really, really nice people or really angry people. There's no in between.
Right.
I was like, why
Right.
are you so angry? And my
Yeah,
great grandpa accused every one of them of stealing.
I know, and they're like that too. Because I tell people I love them all, even the grumpy ones.
He said it's still a joke to this day that he said she's taking in laundry.
Yeah.
I'm like, what year is it? Taking in laundry.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right to it. When it comes to this, I don't know what to call I'm gonna call it occurring, the transition phase, and I don't know. We'll work it out. What's it matter? I mean, we're not being racist or anything.
No.
We're just dancing around. When it comes to the happenings in the room when a person is passing on, what is the most common paranormal thing that occurs when someone passes? What happens so frequently you don't put down your coffee when it happens?
Well, I mean, they take their last breath. It's not what you think.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example though. I was at one of my job sites, and the person that was leaving the shift before me came to ask me, "Hey, can you tell me what you think of this guy? I think this person's going to pass away."
Mhm.
I grabbed the hand of the patient, and they took their last breath right in my hand, and it's a piece. It's not anything. They look like they're sleeping, and it's a piece, but for me, because I'm open to it, I feel, and I've also seen, I see like glittering lights. I've always seen it my whole life, and
Hmm.
I automatically connect it to angels, so I can actually see that stuff happening. Even before, when I enter the room, it's like I have this intuition of when that the end is near. I can definitely tell. I've also heard people's past loved ones in the room. I can hear them. I'm clairaudient, so I'm a medium,
Mhm.
and this is how I found out. It's a long story, but I can hear somebody say, "I'm here." And I mean, I never say anything to the patient, but this is what I witness myself. This is my own experience with it. So I mean, it goes in stages and stuff, and your stomach's the first to go. And your mind is the last to go. So you always want to comfort the hospice patient. They can, or any patient for that matter, they can hear you up to the point where they take their last breath.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They say that your brain stays active for like 30 minutes
Yep.
afterwards too.
Yeah. It's
That's so
pretty cool.
terrifying.
It's pretty peaceful. It's a pretty cool process, really. I mean, it's sad, obviously, because I've experienced losing people myself, but it's really quite the beautiful process. And through this job, I've never felt spirit, Jesus, all that stuff is real. You can feel it. You can't explain it. You just have to feel it and experience it for yourself. It's the most beautiful thing ever. But they are there, and they are very real. People can see their loved ones. I've heard them reaching up for them, yelling their name. So that stuff is in my own opinion, is very real.
Yeah, I imagine when that, because you're there when the veil
I am.
opens. It's basically like I'm using all these woo-woo Bigfoot terms tonight, and I really don't have any other words for them, but it's like basically when the portal opens.
Yeah,
You're there when it
exactly.
opens.
I've never actually seen a soul leave a body,
Yeah.
but I've seen the soul stand next to the body. Because I can see energy as well, and I can see this one person after they passed away. I've seen the outline of that person standing over their own body. That only happened once.
Yeah, that's got to be the extreme
Yeah.
case.
Like they can see, it's just real. You just have to experience it. People can call you crazy, and people can say this or that, but I'm telling you, it is, it's real.
Well, have you ever had anything happen like at that moment that made you just want to quit on the spot? Like, this is too much?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not afraid. It's what makes it hard for me is I can feel others' emotions, definitely. So I have to be careful. Not to take it on as my own. And it's when the family is upset and they're sad, that is the hardest part for me. And
I can imagine.
the age of the person, if they're younger, that's a hard pill to swallow, because and especially if somebody's my age, then it makes you really stop and think about your life and to appreciate what you have and be grateful for everything that you have around you, because you just never know, it can be gone in an instant. And that's the part that for me, I find hard to deal with.
I didn't
So
realize you were
I'll go
so.
buy myself some ice cream or a candy bar or something like that, just to kind of lift my spirits,
Just go home and stare at the sun for a while, touch
Mm-hmm.
grass.
Yeah, you have to take care of yourself.
I didn't realize you were had the clairvoyance thing going on there. And
Oh
really,
yeah,
a lot of my questions.
I've had people touch me. I've had people call my name. And this all started 4 years ago. 6 years ago, I should say, after my mom passed away. And she came back to let me know that she was indeed not dead. And anyway, it just set me on, like my fan would go at night and I would hear like choirs of angels singing. And then I would hear my name being called and I hear people chit-chatting in my room. And I thought, I mean, when you're going through this and you don't know what the heck's going on right away, you think, is there something wrong with me? So I started a journey of trying to find out, okay, there is definitely an afterlife, but what is this? Why am I hearing it? So I went to the doctor. I made sure that everything worked on me, my eyes, everything, just to get that out of the way. And that's when I found Brandeline Johnson's YouTube. And when she started to talk about voices through the fan, my mouth dropped open. And I said to myself, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm experiencing. Because so I joined her, because she teaches about mediumship. And so I took her Awaken program. And sure enough, all that stuff I was experiencing for myself. So and I also asked several years ago, a couple people I was taking care of, I said, hey, if you die, when you die, and if God will let you come back and let me know you're okay, I said, will you let me know? And in my mind, I was just like, yeah, right. And let me know by knocking on my wall 3 times. And it's happened more than once. Knock, knock, knock. And then I knew right away who it was because I remember who I said it to. So it's just been incredible.
What was it like the first time that happened? You're just, whoa.
My heart dropped. I've been running from this. Like, if anybody knows who Matt Frazier is, I have a lot of his same, gifts that he has, and he ran from his. And so I was seeking out everything I could to find out why I'm having these experiences. And not one person ever said to me, you're making it up. In fact, once I opened up the door and started talking about it, my own coworkers even said, yeah, we've had a lot of experiences too. I'm just now coming out talking about it because it's taken me this long to say something. And right now I got rid of that. I don't care what people think. This is real. This is what I've experienced. And there's not one person out there that can tell me that it's not true.
I noticed.
You know it.
Well, what I was telling you before on our text before, I always try to get a bunch of more than one hospice person on the show, and they were just very tight-lipped about it. And I didn't want to push it. Obviously, I mean, like I didn't really know what the code was behind the scenes, or we don't talk about this, and so I casually.
Yeah, of course, I don't ever bring this up to anybody I'm helping at all. Yeah. I just leave that out because if somebody wants to talk about Jesus or wants to pray with me or something, I'm more than happy to do that, because to me, that's what it's all about anyway. It's more of a beautiful thing than it is, scary. It's not, I don't find it scary at all.
I tell you, I've studied a lot of the situations that you hear about, but the, what is it called? The day before, where they get really energetic.
Yeah.
And they
have those moments and they're up and all of a sudden they want to eat a meal and you're thinking, wait a minute, just yesterday you were, not coherent. And they get that surge of energy, and not everybody does, but a lot of them do.
To me, that's the scariest, not scary, but like if you're in your field and somebody's who's nothing the day before just turns into Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka, just know it's like what's coming in like 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes people say, oh, they're getting better. And it's like, you're in your mind, you know exactly what's happening. But, some families are unwilling to accept what's happening, and you run into that a lot. And some families don't want to give the medicine and stuff. And I understand all that stuff, you know, but it's a very intimate time that I get to spend with these people. And you do grow a wonderful relationship. And of course, it's sad when they're gone because it's like losing your own family all over again. So, of course, I cry. You know, I have my moments. It's definitely not easy.
I mean, does it typically only last a few days? Because I've known people who are under the care for months and weeks.
Yeah, it depends on the person, and
Mhm.
each person is different. And sometimes I've seen people go without food and stuff for like 10 days, 2 weeks. It just depends on, I guess, the body. I mean,
Mhm.
everyone's a different circumstance.
Imagine if you had some fat on you, you could last a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's incredible. It really is. That's the hardest part, is dealing with the family members left behind. The rest
That's
of
gotta
it,
be.
I know for certain there was an afterlife. I know I'm going to see my mom again. I'm going to see my grandma again. And I can wait, but I can't wait, if you know what I mean. I'm not afraid to die. This has made me not afraid to die. I just am not ready to yet.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's like when you're going to go to another level in high school or junior high.
Yeah.
Like you're scared too because you don't know what it is, but you know once you get there it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to talk to people about this because some people are Jesus based, and I grew up as Episcopalian, going to
Mhm.
church for 9 years. I was an acolyte that held, you know, the little candles walking down the thing. So it's all about your belief system, but this has certainly changed my belief system. I still believe in God very much. I still believe in Jesus very much. I still believe in angels. None of that's gone away. However, now I believe now wholeheartedly there's an afterlife. Just nothing can tell me there's not.
Have you got any details on it?
On the afterlife?
Yeah, about what's going on.
Yes, I do. I have been told that there's a life review that we go through, where you get to review your life, and you get to see who you hurt, who you haven't hurt, who you've helped, all that stuff. I was told this is out throughout many years, and I've done readings on people through Brandon Lee's course that I took.
Mhm.
And I nailed some of them, and to the point where my mouth dropped open and it made me cry. I thought, how the heck did I even know this? I don't even know these people. And the spirits have told me that they have classes that they attend up there. There are certain levels of consciousness, and
Classes.
that's what I was told. I know it
Oh my
sounds
gosh.
nuts, but you know, you always want to make sure that they say, I'm from the love and light only. I mean, I can actually hear, and this is gathered throughout the last several years, and that's why I took her course, because I just couldn't believe that I can hear. Clairaudient is like when you can hear the spirit. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like little bits and pieces. You know, it's not like where they come in and have a conversation with me and you, but this is, you know, I've got it all written down. I've kept a journal with it all, and I was just kind of like just scared to come out and say something, because well, then I realized, you know what, what do I got to lose? I know my truth, and that's all I need to know. You know, I've done readings and I did well, and people said, how the heck did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know, because you know, I just know.
Didn't mean to interrupt you with the classes thing. That kind of struck me. The classes. You gotta go to class after you.
That they have to attend. Yeah, it's just their energy, and they can take on. I've seen an apparition in my bedroom, a full-bodied apparition, and it didn't scare me, but it startled me. Standing at the end of my bed, I knew who it was. I caught a ghost. I shared it on, I think, Brandon Lee's page, in my kitchen, and I know who it was, and it's irrefutable. I didn't edit it. I don't even know how to edit. And it's just been incredible, all the experiences I've had.
Have you ever gotten anything on the heaven or hell thing? Like people that go one direction or the other?
I was told that it's like the rabbit hole, that it's your own hell, really. There's not burning flames or anything like that. You know, I mean, it's all in what you believe. You're going to experience what you believe. But there's definitely evil. I was told there was no devil. Evil. Yeah, I mean, Lucifer was, you know, that stuff's all real, but that's not where you go to a place where you're in a burning fire thing like that.
I've wondered if it's not reading too deep into some of that.
Yeah, I mean, evidently I don't know because I'm not dead, but I'm just telling you what I was
Yeah.
told through over time the last several years that I've kept my mouth shut about it.
It
And
might be
then
quote of the day.
yeah, I mean, and then I did the readings in her class, and then I got the validation and I got the proof to back it up, and I don't know these people. I mean, that's why I did a lot of research on it, and that's why I did this, is because I've had so many experiences. And instead of running, I decided to research it. Why is this happening to me? And, in the course, it said you're just being called into action. The spirit wants to work with you as a medium.
They feel your potential, I think.
Yeah.
Like you're just like a path of least resistance. It's easier to work with than others.
Yeah. And I have to protect my energy because I'm empathic. I can feel others, and you can get confused whether you're taking on someone else's emotions or not. And that was my biggest downfall, is I was always that one that wanted to help everybody. And it's like, no, you got to protect your own energy, take care of it, because it drains you, like energy vampires,
Always say, put your own mask on first.
Yep.
People start acting like, we got to help others. I'm like, you got to help yourself first.
Just be yourself. It's just kind of like when people come out and say, I'm gay or I'm this or that. It's kind of the same uncomfortableness when you finally come out and tell people, hey, look, I hear. I don't call them dead people. In fact, I call them alive and well, because they drop all their sickness and disease. So I got a bit of a different name for them, and I call them alive and well. Because they're alive and well in a different form. They're energy now.
They're doing better than we are.
Yeah. And they can see everything that we're doing. So when you think of them, that's their cue to, they know you're thinking about them, and they connect to you through your thoughts.
Whenever someone first goes passes on, and you're real close to them, say like I mentioned my grandfather or my papa in the intro there, I felt him really close the first few weeks.
Yes, that was him.
And he would like change the radio station and things like that. I would wake up to the song that I thought represented him in my mind. It was weird.
No, you're right on. My lights will flicker, and songs. My mom and I used to live on this certain address, and that number shows up all the time. And then I would hear my mom's voice. So there's nobody that can tell me that I'm making it up. I've had my ears checked. I've had my head checked. I've had it all checked out, because it's really hard to believe, but I'm so confident in it now that here I am tonight talking about it.
Yeah, and it must make you mad, all the charlatans out there in your area.
All the what?
The medium, the fakes, the people who are trying to get money out of it, the mediums.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they fake that, but that's why I like the course with Brenda Lee, because you can't fake it. She will set you up with somebody that you don't even know, you don't know anything about, and I mean, the proof speaks for itself. It really does.
Well, it's the what's it called? The cold readings that I don't like.
What do you mean by that?
You remember like John Edwards in early 2000s?
No, I don't know who he is. I don't think.
Well, they would go into a stadium or arena like Oprah and just start mentioning things, and somebody's like, "Oh, my grandmother's name starts with G. Oh yeah, G. Your grandmother says hello."
Specific detail that you get that you can't refute, because it's there's things about people that there's no way you could know or Google. I mean, it just isn't possible. You really don't know till you experience it yourself. Because to be honest with you, I was kind of skeptical. I've always been spiritual. But when this started to happen to me, my whole outlook on the whole thing changed.
Especially in the field you're in, having that ability has got to be just...
It's overwhelming to me. Overwhelming. So I definitely have to take care of my mental health, my physical health. I got to try to eat well. I had to change I was in an abusive marriage for a long time. You have to change your whole surroundings.
Uh-oh. Video flashed on me. I thought I did that. I was checking the YouTube page over there and it went off. It's like, oh gosh. And she's probably having internet problems. That happens all the time with these live streams. Got Jeff Yarrington on there. Just look at the comments real quick. But yeah, this has been a fun podcast. The guest is having technical difficulties, and then we'll be back momentarily. It's just me now. How's everything going? Let's remind everyone to hit that subscribe button while we're waiting on Miss Karen to come back and check it out. And I had fun yesterday at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference down in Anniston, Alabama. Met a bunch of people, former guests and future guests. I'm hoping. I met Tex from Texas Front Porch. I met Jason McLean, the pterosaur guy. He was on there. So yeah, it was a good time. Took the kids. A couple of my kids had never experienced any one of those conventions before, so they got to experience that for the first time, and it was good to see. Yeah, Jeff. And I just automatically go into self promotion at this point. Happens a lot, and thankfully it's a live show, and we're just hanging out. And I can edit it out of the final one. One time I was doing this, and who was Adam? His name was Adam Began from up in Maine. He's the guy that, does all the Stephen King stuff, Stephen King history. And he just dropped out. And I'm sitting here doing this right here, like, yep, he'll be back soon. And I got a text message. Said, yeah, our power just went out. It froze. It was like 10 degrees up there or less. And like the whole power went out of this whole city block. I'm like, well, I ended up just getting in the chat the rest of the time. So if anybody has any questions in the chat, hit me up. We'll have a chat session until Miss Karen comes back. I'm having a good time. I'll messenger. Say, everything okay? Hey. Everything okay? Hope she didn't get hurt. I would feel bad if I'm sitting here talking and something bad happened. Who all do we have on? We got, I assume one of these is mine. We got a couple viewers. We got Jeff. We got, I mean, you can just put it in the chat. So until I'm chatting with the viewers. Yeah. Do I know anybody in Maryland? I do. I don't know how well I know them, but I do know, I work alongside people who also live in Maryland and Virginia remotely, but I know maybe a couple people. What's up? What's going on in Maryland? Don't they have crabs up there? Or it's Massachusetts. And she's coming back in. That's where he's at. I know Jeff Yarrington from Maryland, as a matter of fact. Just so happens. Made a new Maryland contact. I work with a lot of people near and around Fort Belvoir. So I hear the word Maryland a lot. Fun fact about Maryland, John Denver's Country Road was originally about Maryland. I don't know if Almost Heaven Baltimore would do well. Oh, hang on. Yeah, man. It's weird how there's so much wilderness up there, but you don't think of that. Oh, hey, Chrissy. Yeah, Karen's a good guest. How's it going? You enjoying the show so far? She's working to get back in. Not a big deal. Got a good chat going here. Talking about Bigfoot and hospice. I think we had a conversation last week about people turning into Bigfoot, being feral, So, and what if hour from Baltimore, Jeff says. Oh, here comes Karen.
Completely out. I apologize. I don't know what
Hey,
happened.
Karen's back.
Sorry about
That's
that.
fine. Oh, that's fine. I was chatting with everybody. I had one of your friends in here, Chrissy Westerfield.
Oh, hi, Chrissy.
Says you're caring for one of her residents.
Yeah.
We found out that Mr. Jeff is from Maryland, and there's lots of Bigfoot there, which is, I tell you something about Maryland, and it's going to show because I'm from Alabama and I'm not educated. I'm stupid. In my mind, I actually am college educated, but from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. So yeah, I learned a lot of football, but in my mind,
fun. I love football.
Massachusetts and Maryland are interchangeable in my mind. Just I know there's a difference. I know there's a big gap in between them. But and I'm even when he says, and I work with a lot of people from Maryland via remote. I do remotely,
Yeah.
and so I talk to them all the time. And you don't think of that place being wilderness-y to have Bigfoot, but yeah, I guess any place can if they got more than a few acres.
Yep.
But Karen's back. I want to take this banner off, and if you haven't, please subscribe. I don't like to
Dark technology.
I don't like to self promote a lot because it's kind of cheesy, but
Yeah.
yeah, Chrissy says she's at work now, and ask Karen that Karen is seeing. Hey,
yeah.
All
hey,
right.
Chris.
That was fun. That happens all the time, by the way. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. I feel like a nincompoop.
No, it's not a big deal because this is a live show and I can just cut it out. Even though there's people watching, I'm going to cut it out in the but when I upload it to the audio apps, no one will even know what happened. It was like, why is he just talking about her dropping all the time?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll leave it in. I don't know. Maybe it's all my mistakes. I don't even remember what we're talking about. I think I mentioned something about,
I
know. Something about Haley Joel Osment seeing dead people. I don't know. I see dead people.
Yeah, maybe. It's crazy because if you don't experience that, then some people don't understand. But I've had so many people tell me, "You guys are angels. You guys are angels." And it got me thinking. Maybe that's true. Maybe we all of us did. Because I definitely can see them. I know when they're right by somebody's bed. It's a twinkling light, and I thought it was my eyes my whole life. And then when I talk about it to other people, they're like, "Oh yeah, I see it too." And I'm like, "Well, it's just whatever you resonate with it, and it just all fits, Especially people reaching up. I had somebody say to me they saw Jesus, and you could say some of it's the medication and stuff, and sure, sometimes it is, but not everybody's lying about what they see. You got to think about that.
And from what I've read, it seems consistent, like the descriptions of things.
Yes.
And has anyone ever gone all the way out and came back while you were there and told you things and then gone again, died again?
No, I haven't experienced that. No.
Somebody that got revived. Well, I guess if you're on hospice, you're not getting revived. I guess there's
not usually, no, but there are people that graduate off of it. I had one person who was in their 90s and on 3 times and graduated off of it. I'm telling you, it's the love of the family. That love word is very strong because there was a lot of love in that house, and this person was able to stay a lot longer because so much love was in the house. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of but there's no paddles or anything when you guys just
no.
That's would defeat the entire purpose of the field, honestly.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So what do you let's take it down a dark road here. What do you think of the assisted unaliving medically for people that?
Well, I mean, me personally, I understand why people do it. I think life's really important to me. So my own opinion is, no, I don't, I support whatever the person wants to do, but, my own opinion is no, but it's okay. It's okay. For me, I wouldn't, I don't know. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. If I was in that position, maybe I wouldn't want to go through it. So it's kind of hard, but I understand it though. You know what I mean?
If you were just in so much pain or something, it'd have to be it. I can understand it.
I truly understand. Yeah, I might want to cut out too if I had to go through all that. I mean, what's the point?
And if you knew what you knew,
yeah,
as you sit right now, it would be tough to.
I guess to answer that, I would say if somebody just says, "Man, life's too hard, I'm going to go," you know what? I would always want to try to save that person and say, "Well, we can help you," But if somebody was terminal and didn't want to do it, I would understand that.
Yeah, if it's just sadness, I don't think I'd want someone to do it because that can be worked out of. But if you were just couldn't live, if it's every day it was just grinding, like you had sand in your joints and
Exactly. And there are definitely people like that. I mean, some of them are just in so much pain. And they, a lot of people say, I had one person say to me, just kill me, just kill me. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That's not up to me, but that's the kind of pain that I've witnessed. And
So we don't have a tip jar, buddy.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic, and I guess I still am. I am.
Yeah.
I still am. I can't say I guess I am, but I couldn't.
I
have
guess
to
the
be against
creepiest
them.
thing that's happened is the lights flickering, and I've heard footsteps and things move. When you don't expect that, and you hear that, and there is nobody there, that to me is creepy. But I haven't seen anything dark or anything like that. Yeah, no.
Never felt like the Grim Reaper standing beside you with his.
Actually, I have felt some of that dark stuff. Yeah, I mean that's some freaky stuff. But I always put up that shield of protection that I was taught to do. Put yourself in a bubble, so that nothing like that can get in. Yeah, and I always pray. I always talk to my angels, and I always invite them to be with me. And I sage in my house once a week on Sundays. Did it today.
Oh yeah.
I was told to do that and taught to do that, so that's what I do, and it really does lift the energy. And you got to fill your home up with your own energy and love, and you got to definitely be careful who you let into your circle. I'm one that'll tell you right now, just stay away from those negative people.
Regular smudging, I can see that being a preventative maintenance.
Yep. So I've just made that my everyday life, and I have talked to a couple mediums, and they've all said, yes, you definitely have to do this because of what you do. And I thought, yeah, that's probably right. So I do. And then of course, I'm glad I do it, because then stuff started to happen that I just couldn't explain, and you just couldn't refute it.
Yeah, I can imagine that the potential for the hitchhiker effect is strong.
Yeah, the hitchhiker, that's exactly what they're called, and they will too. They'll hitchhike, and it's just like you're explaining, you got a light about you above you, above your head. And it's the truth. It really is.
I mean, do you ever have the experience of the people, not just necessarily the ones you were with in the nursing job, but like out of the blue, like seeing a dead person, like at the store or in your house?
Yes. Yes, I have seen one in the house. And at the store, what I've experienced is my mood changes when I come back. I took note on that. I was out like Walmart the other day, and I was in a great mood. And then I came home, and I felt angry, and I felt like, but at the time I didn't stop and think about it till I actually got home, and I said, wait a minute, this is not my energy. This is something that tried to pick up on me. And I immediately cleared myself, and I said, you stay out here. You're not welcome in my house. And I came in, and I felt better. But to be mindful of it is where I was going wrong, is I wasn't connecting the dots. You know what I mean? And I've heard my name being called in the store. I heard Karen, and I'm like, what in the hell? And I'd look around, and I'd say, there's nobody here. This has happened for the last several years for me. That's why I had to do this, research it more, because I mean, it's just so periodically that, yeah.
I can imagine the negativity at Walmart is strong.
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere, and I can pick up on that too, and I do not like that. Channeling, I can channel people. I practice doing that. I mean, again, like Brandoline has a whole course on it, and I've done all of it, so I can do all of it. I just got to learn the tech stuff about, that I learn. Yeah.
I imagine you could have plenty to talk about on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
Hey guys, saw an orb this week.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. I put a camera in my house, and had I known, this happened last year, I put a camera, because I have a dog, and I miss her all the time. She's my emotional support dog. And I put a camera in there to make sure I could see her, and I check on her throughout the day. And at nighttime, I had a ton of orbs coming flying. And I'm like, these aren't bugs, because there's too many of them.
And bugs are dust.
Many of them. Yep.
That's the thing.
The picture, I got to share that somewhere. You guys would really just say, wow, you can't make it up.
Is there anything in in your field that you just don't talk about? Like, that happens that Now, again, don't get too specific and break any laws or anything. But like, is there any like a secret knowledge that everybody knows that goes on? Like, we don't mention that when it happens. Kind of like the whistling in the woods in Appalachians.
No, people just don't talk about it. They're very careful what to say. That's why
They
that's
are.
why I'm talking about it with you right now. But I
Yeah.
couldn't talk about it with, and I wouldn't. You just that. Again, you do have to be careful what you talk about for sure. But no, I haven't experienced anything like that.
All right. Is it like behind the scenes, in the weeds?
Well, we did
Yeah.
have one
Yeah.
time at this place I was working, the call light kept going on off after the
Mhm.
patient had passed away. Like it was pulling, and it kept happening and kept happening. And the maintenance person kept saying, "Oh, there's a glitch, there's a glitch." And I'm telling you, there was 5 of us there, and we all looked at each other, and we said the name. We're like, "No, that's so and so," and because we all knew. We just all knew that it was that person, as if they're still, I don't know if they crossed over. I don't know if it was residual. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You ever have to just talk to them like, hey, you got to go, something like that?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes. Yep. There's
look,
the
you
old
gotta
wives'
go.
tale where I learned when I first started doing this kind of work is you open up the window and you tell them, go to the light.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, because there are
Mhm.
some people that don't want to go and they want to latch onto you and stay with you because after they know what kind of love and support you gave them and know your soul, they don't want to leave. So you
Yeah.
gotta help them leave sometimes.
Just like a customer is like when we have customers that don't want to
Yeah.
go through the proper channels to get something fixed, they come right to you. Like, no, you
Yeah.
got to go with it. You got to go to the website like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm just having
I
picturing
try
like
to stay out of that dark stuff though, because
Mhm.
that would be
Yeah.
like a magnet for me, and I'd probably get my butt kicked by. Yeah, I don't even want to go anywhere dark. No way.
end up with shadow people in your house.
And no, thank you. Yeah, I don't want any part of that. I stick in the light, and that's where I stay. And I'm always asking. I'm always praying to God and talking to Jesus, and that keeps me going. That's the only way I can deal with all this. So.
Is there ever any like PTSD amongst like your fellow nurses? Like, I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
stop.
I mean yeah. I mean there are some people that that take it's definitely in there.
Like it almost seems like one of those fields, and I don't want to say it's easy, but it feels like one of those things like that people get into. Maybe it pays more than anything else. Like we're gonna do that and get over
No,
there. Like I'll just get chewed up and spit out.
Yeah, I think you're chosen before you come here. I really,
Mhm.
when people would tell me it takes a special kind of person to do this job, I believe it with my whole heart. It definitely does, because it is a lot to take. If you don't if you don't take care of your own self and your
Mhm.
own mental health and have a good social life and a good group of friends and support, it can really weigh you down.
I can imagine you just can't come off the street from like a junior college and jump right into that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like this.
yeah, you do. Yep. Because I mean, again, you can pick up on somebody else's emotions very easy, and it's and you're around sick people all the time. It's hard to
Mhm.
shake that, So you definitely got to take care of yourself.
And I remember back during the beer virus a couple years ago, and I'm not going to say the C word
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, but like the nurses were the one that were the most adamant about the safety and everything. And I'm thinking, well, it's not that their word isn't as good as anyone else's, but they're in the densest part of it. Like of course they know it's dangerous to certain groups.
Yeah.
But every person they see that's got it is probably close to death, and it's not just like the general population. They see the worst end of it, so they're the ones that are most adamant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some people are afraid to die. I've had a lot of people say I'm not ready to go, and they cry. That's another hard thing.
Oh
But
yeah.
I always say, I always ask permission, and I always say, I believe that you're going to be fine and you're going to go to a better place. And I always try to comfort that person with. I fight the fear with the positive. I'm always telling them how beautiful they are. I'm always smiling, and I'm always spreading love and light because that's what I do. I think there's too much negativity in this world. And if you stop and think about it, calling people names and putting people down and thinking you're better than other people, it doesn't solve anything. And you never know what story's going
Mhm.
on in somebody else's head to add to it. I mean, one positive word can change somebody's life.
Mhm.
And
And they say
that's
that
what I all day long.
most criticism comes from a place of insecurity anyway.
Yeah, it does. It does. And these people, some of them, might be half scared to death. And I mean, I'm always positive, but they're a little cheerleader.
Yeah, I can't imagine getting like a negative person doing that. I'm like, what are you trying to, like just a regular, sorry, I'm pouring some more coffee here. Somebody said it sounded like I was going to the bathroom whenever I poured my coffee. I'm like, I
Yeah,
promise you, I
exactly.
promise you, I am not. That'd be
It kind of
very
does sound
talented.
like that, doesn't it?
But I can't imagine going to like that and getting like a regular bedside nurse, like from, just a regular angry little lady that comes in and checks your vitals every 45 minutes. That attitude, I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine getting that attitude as someplace. God, I just don't think they could do it.
No.
I
And we
think the
get all
family
kinds
probably
of
complain.
attitude. We get all kinds of attitude. I've been spit on and
Oh
hit
yeah,
and all that stuff. And those are the type that you walk away from. You don't want to ever agitate somebody that's already agitated. So we don't have to deal with people like that alone anyway. So
now are you in like a residence? Or are you in like a hospital?
no, I travel around in a specific area. I
So
go
you
to
go to the
homes.
houses.
I go to houses,
Okay.
facilities, adult family homes, and things like that. Yep. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's one.
picking up energy everywhere. So I gotta
Yeah.
clear my energy. Yeah.
You said call out, and I'm like, are you doing this just in a facility? Because I know there's hospice facilities.
Yeah, no, there
That
is,
just
but yeah, no, I travel around from place to place.
okay. Just a
Yeah.
rotator.
I'm a
So they
rotator.
have
Yep.
they had the people come in the houses in different shifts. Yeah, my mom did home health for a while, so I know all about that.
Yeah, I've
Had-
heard all kinds of eerie stories about certain places on the graveyard shift, of pots and pans banging, nobody's in the kitchen. I mean, I've heard it all. And I didn't think of anything of it till I started experiencing stuff myself. So
Yeah, I can imagine it if when it comes time and it's in the middle of the night, it must be much worse
oh yeah.
because that's
I
when
don't
the
know. It's
energy
the
is.
nighttime is where the witching hour. They say the witching
Mhm.
hour between 2 and 3. And I woke up and heard chit chat in my bedroom here. It's like, who the heck are you? Just chit chatting, like you can hear little whispers.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, what the heck? Yeah, that kind of stuff happens to me all the time.
I wake up every day at like 3:10, and
Yeah.
they say it's cortisol, but I think I'll get to the topic of why I think I am later, but I think I'm kind of like more in tune with the vibrational stuff lately. And so I think it's why it's
Yeah.
it happened a lot after my grandmother died. And
Mhm.
it happened a lot then, and it hadn't happened in a few years, but every time I'm trying to make like a shift, like I'm actively trying to pursue a change in my life, it starts happening. So I think it's,
Yeah, well, right after my mom passed away, my ex-husband heard her. My daughter heard her. And so when I heard her, they knew I wasn't lying because they had heard her too. And she came back and made a point to let me know that I'm okay. And she was very forward about it
Mhm.
too. I actually seen her, like her face, and
Really?
I'm just like I'm blown away, like in an orb, and I saw her face in it. So thank God that at the time is when it all started to happen to me, that they had witnessed that too, because people are going to say, oh, you're nuts, and it's like, nope, 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 especially when other people have experienced it. You just you can't make it up.
When you're in tune, when you are in tune with it, whether intentionally or not intentionally, it'll happen.
It'll happen. You
Thankfully,
better
I've never
believe it.
seen. Thankfully, I've never seen an apparition, but I've gotten tons of signs, and
That's a
I say,
shocker. I didn't get scared though. I just went like that,
yeah,
and it quickly went away.
it's got to be like me because I don't like snakes, and so when
Mhm.
I see one, I get to, I have that happen to me, But then
Yeah.
then since I know I'm not in danger, I'm fascinated. Like I think reptiles are cool, but I don't want any part of them. And
Right.
I will pull a pew pew out and make waste of the reptile if it gets too close. if I have to. But if I can get away from it with like a stick, I like seeing what kind they are. I think like rattlesnakes and stuff are pretty, but if one sneaks up on me, I'm still
No,
scared at
I'm
first.
with there. I don't like them, and I don't like spiders either.
Yeah.
I don't like them big suckers. Nope, they just creep me out.
I kind of think that's the way you would behave if you saw like an apparition.
Yeah, no, it's more of a shock, but thank God it didn't happen until after
Yeah.
I started to understand what was happening. Because at first I didn't understand what I was hearing. I mean, especially when I turn my fan on, I can hear stuff because it's through the white noise that the spirits can use their voice.
Like that movie White Noise. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yep, and I've had my radio station change on its own, and the lights flicker. They still to this day will flicker. So yeah, it's just all there. I mean, any medium that you meet will say they have the same experiences, and it all starts. And they're just trying to get your attention, trying to let you know, hey, we are still here. So you be sad about it now, but know that you'll see us again. And that is, to me, is the most comforting thing ever. I'm telling you.
I remember after my grandmother passed away, the first few weeks, and I would wake up, 3:33. It would be that kind of wake up.
Oh, yeah, that's an angel number.
Yeah, and every so often when I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I would turn on the TV anyway and watch it for a little bit, put myself back to sleep. That night I did it, and I got the weirdest error on the little cable box, and it was just screwed. And I could feel the room felt like I was scared. The room felt like I was in like a haunted house.
Yeah.
Like I could feel like she was staring at me. I'm like, I'm waking. And I got up and rebooted my little cable box, and it went through all kinds of little screens and fonts. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to maintain.
They get their power from that stuff. They like to mess with computers and all that stuff. Yep.
But it was so obvious. Like I've never had to do that before to like a little direct TV box, the little one.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I know you're doing this. And I don't know if it's I don't know if it's evil or you're mad at me because we had a slight falling out toward the end, or like
that's why I was told never to talk to somebody or never invite anybody in without protection. I got to call on Archangel Michael. Because that stuff is real. That evil is definitely real. There's no doubt about it. You really got to be careful with that.
I figured she was kind of mad at me because when she got real bad off in Alzheimer's, I didn't want to go see her much because I didn't like the optics or how it made me feel, like seeing somebody I grew up with looking like that. And so I didn't go see her as much. And I thought, she's still mad at me. But then she kept coming to me in dreams. And
yeah, see, that's how they communicate too, is through your dream.
And one of the big things was she had like 20 acres. And that was like where I farmed, I grew things, and it's where I hunted. And so it was like the part of, and I would go do stuff. I would hunt or go ride the 4-wheeler there, and I would go and she cooked me something. And so now I can't even go to that. I can't even go to that far down the road by that land because I don't even know who owns it now.
Yeah.
But at one point she came to me in a dream. She said, "Would you quit worrying about the damn land?"
Yeah.
Quit worrying about it. It's 20 acres. Quit worrying about it. Go do whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah. I know their personalities don't change. I mean, they drop all the sickness and there's no jealous or anger in that, but their personalities stay the same after they leave here. Yep. And they can take on any age that they want to.
And I don't feel like she's mad at me anymore. Or even if she ever was, it was just kind of me, like my own. I think it was my own guilt eating at me.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yep.
And just kind of I would always, like when I had a dog that would die, I would have dreams, the same style of dreams about him.
Yeah, so you got your own little thing going. Yeah. We all have it.
It kind of just goes away after about 6 months.
Yeah.
The traumatizing part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My big thing right now is angel numbers and manifestations. Like that's what I talked to Brenda Lean about, and that's the reason I haven't aired that episode. It's because I told my angel number on there. I don't know if I should or not, and I'm thinking about going through and taking it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's big to me right now. That manifestation.
It is big and it's real. It's all very real. Yeah. I mean, repeating numbers, especially angel ones, and they're trying to get you a message, and you figure that out. That I try to keep, if I get something big, I keep a journal by my bed and I'll write it down.
Oh, I started noticing them after I got a really, really big pay cut about 10 years ago, 50%. And that's when I started, like, I was so freaking just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose the house and worrying all the time. I started noticing the certain numbers popping up and how to read them.
Mhm. Yeah.
And here it is
Yep.
10 years later. And now I look at them. If I see it, I'm like, okay, that's what's going to happen today. I can almost like
Yep.
borderline. Some days I can tell what kind of day I'm going to have by them.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I got a picture on my wall right now of all the angel numbers. Got my angel wings behind me here, and yeah,
What's the 222 for you there?
that is your alignment.
Yeah, before I started knowing what an angel number was, I would notice anything significant in my life had a 22 associated with it. That's not my angel number.
Really?
But yeah, it basically means you're in the right place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
in alignment. Yep.
you know, my college apartment number was 122.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would notice, and one day I had something happen at work, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have to take a bite of just eat shit for a few months, and I knew I was gonna have to. And turned out it all was okay. But I just got mad and left in my car and drove around for like 30 minutes. And I looked up and one of the building numbers was 122.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's anytime I drive by that building now, I remember it. I was like, yep, that was one of the signs. That's not my angel number, but I know when I see 22s, that's kind of, and even I don't know why I'm even pulling this up. Like one of the podcasts I'm on all the time, he sends out this little coin. You see it or not? It's the paranormal guys at Glenn Jackson. And
Oh
why am I
wow.
shaking? But he made these little challenge coins. And I'm like, did you number these specifically? Like, did these come out? Like, do you have them numbered who got them? I'm like, because my number is 22, the angel number on it, or the number on it. That was the series. I was like, that's one of my angel numbers. That's weird.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they have a message and all that stuff, especially if you see the same one over and over. You know,
Mm-hmm.
11122.
What about 111?
That is your protection. That they're it means your protection. And then the other one is what that I see a lot is the 555. That means a big change is coming. Get excited.
Yeah,
but
111 is one. I'm getting that a
or
lot.
1111.
I get 111 a lot, and I got 555 last week.
That means a big change is coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it does if you pay attention to it. If you see that, and a lot of times it's what you're thinking about too. What you're thinking about in that moment is a response to what you're thinking about. Should tell you a message.
Where did I get the 555 at last week? I don't know. I don't really pay attention much to those, the 3-letter ones, unless it's just in my face a lot.
Right.
Because I think some people try to misread those. Because I have like specific ones, double digit ones that I get, but sometimes I get the double digit ones next to the 111s, 444s, and that's when I'm like, oh man, pay attention to that.
Yeah, the 444 is protection too. Or no, I'm sorry, 111 is intuition. 444 is protection. I quoted that, but yeah,
it's crazy how they work, and
yeah,
you can't get too woo woo with them because sometimes the numbers just exist. And if you're in like a really bad place and you're just looking for numbers and you're seeing them, like, oh, I see that now. Then you're just going to misread them and think it's all fake. But if you really get down to it and try to feel what they mean, that's when you can get the real value out of them.
Yeah, if you're closed off to it, then you're not going to experience it. But if you believe and you're open to it, then go do the research yourself. And that's what happened to me. I've always been a spiritual person, and I've always believed my whole life. So so it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it hit me quick.
Yep.
Quick and hard. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, what I mean is like somebody who was really sad and they started looking for signs, just anything grasping onto, just that's when the people think they don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this and it didn't happen. Well, you were really sad. I mean, I've done it too, just in the darkest hour, just looking around like, man, that didn't mean anything then. I was just grasping at straws.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, you do. For sure. But yeah, that stuff is all real. I've heard so many patients of mine come back and say something to me. I mean, throughout the whole time I've been doing this, it doesn't stop.
Mhm. What do you think about the whole law of attraction, law of assumption, manifestation?
Okay, well, I had to test that for myself too, and I did it. I did a poster. It's a vision board,
Hmm.
and everything on that poster on that board came true. I put my dog up on there, and it identical to the dog that I put on there, I got back. You're supposed to set it and forget it and trust and believe, or trust and allow, and
Hmm.
just believe. Believe that you receive. That you just believe it. There's a
Hmm.
right and a wrong way to do, and definitely Brandolene is one to talk about. I'm still learning on that stuff,
Oh
but
yeah,
I did try everything on that board came true.
heard I
I
talked all
started
about
it.
that.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really does work. My mantra thing is set it and forget it. Just know that it's going to happen. You just don't know when. It's in divine timing. But I got my dog. My whole life has changed ever since I took Brandon Lean's program, the Spiritual Awakening.
Hmm.
I'm still going through my spiritual awakening, but it got me out of an abusive marriage. It got me. I'm now in my own life, and my whole life has changed, and it's for the better. It's been an incredible journey for me.
I've actually looked into it when she was mentioning it to me as well.
Yeah,
That
yeah, it
it's
works.
not. I don't know where I'm at trying to awaken myself spiritually. I kind of want to stay on the outside where I know the instructions.
It's pretty overwhelming, let me tell you. I did it by accident. It just kind of happened, and I didn't expect it to, because I wasn't really seeking it out as far as wanting to hear stuff and wanting to see stuff. It just happened, and I know it's because of what I do. There's just no doubt in my mind.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right there on the bleeding edge of it.
I am.
It's
Yep, I've had
almost, I would say
some
it's impossible. It's impossible not to have those experiences somewhat.
It's impossible. Yep,
What I had,
definitely.
I had one lady, and I asked her to come on and talk about it, and she said it depended on my opinions on Roe v. Wade. I'm like, well, that's not at all pertinent to the conversation. I'm just like, you're insane, and I'm going to not talk to you.
Yeah, I'm open. I don't mind. And if people think I'm nuts, they think I'm nuts. I don't really care. I know I'm not. So I just wanted to share, what I've experienced, and it's a lot. I mean, it's just been incredible. It's incredible. I'm so excited about it, and I
Hmm.
love spirit so much, and I love what I do, and I love the comfort that we provide. I love all that stuff.
Oh man, whenever I was first looking into to this whole the manifestation stuff, I didn't know what people were talking about. They said spirit, and I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I think who is why do they keep saying spirit? I just know it now. I just know it is. They're just talking to the realm.
Yeah, to the realm, because
Yeah.
it's a collective too. Like there's so many of them out there too.
Hmm.
You
I
know.
always say angels and saints when I talk to them. I don't know if they say
Yeah.
spirit. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
Brandeline had to tell me to. I had so many people trying to say something to me at once, and she said, "You got to cut it off and say one at a time." And everyone that's a medium that knows that I've been to knows what I do. They're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you must be overwhelmed. I can imagine." And every one of them said, "You really got to take care of yourself," and I do.
You tell them to put in a ticket.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
submit a trouble quest. Come on,
Yeah,
or email me
right.
direct.
And once they know the spirits know that you're open and willing to talk, boy, you better watch out, because you got to set boundaries, or
Yeah,
they'll talk to you all day long.
because it's got to be desperate trying to get back to us because we can't hear them for the
They're
most part.
excited about it.
And when there's like an open line, they're just like, give me that line. It's like a phone booth in prison.
It's like
Like,
a phone cord.
I get
Yeah,
I get 1 minute per day. I get to talk to her.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. I think it's the most incredible thing ever. It just
It's
lights
pretty.
my whole soul up. I'm just like all about it.
It's pretty neat because I fully believe in this aspect of the paranormal, quote unquote,
Uh-huh.
and it's something. It's like a foregone conclusion. It's just what happens. It's kind of like aliens are real. You just don't know if they're little grays or just microbes on another planet. You know, they're somewhere. And I
Yeah.
think the afterlife and whatever these people are when they go is foregone conclusion as well. Like there's no it doesn't. There's nothing happens when we die. Of course, it happens. Too much stuff's going down.
Yeah, and it's a great awakening right now. The world it's happening to more and more people. If you pay attention, you'll see it. You see it every day. And we're connected to everything: the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees.
And you couldn't get anybody to talk about anything 20 years ago. Now everybody's got a story. Every
I know
single person.
mediums were thought of as voodoo and all these bad things, and it's like, no, I mean, no, it's completely. That's so untrue. In my own opinion.
Where do you stand, or what do you know about, like, what do they say about reincarnation?
Yes, so
what is
that I hear. Yep, it is what you believe. Now, if you don't believe, I don't know what happens there, but yes, the spirits have told me there is reincarnation. Yeah. So if you don't believe it, that's fine. You don't have to. But to answer your question, yes, I was told that there is.
I kind of think there is. I kind of think that whatever video game we're in,
right,
it has
video game. That's exactly right. Well put.
I think you can play again, and that's what I think when people get kind of dealt a bad hand. Let's say, I'm not being insensitive again. Like if you are a 4-year-old kid born into a war-torn country, if something bad happens to you, you get sent back. You get another shot at it and possibly a better starting point.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
I'm
carry
sorry
the
about
emotions
that.
from your old life into your new life. So that's why Spirit tells me, wake up. We need to let people know the truth. Let go of that stuff. Let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you. If you're in a bad relationship, let it go. Let go of your negative friends. Quit doing this, quit doing that, and just do the best that you can. Always seek out help, it changes your life. And because if you don't, you can carry that stuff over into your whatever life you're going to come back as, or whatever it is that you're going to.
Yeah. And it could be part of our genetic mental disorders. We get just, this person's an anxious person. This person doesn't have a care in the world. Like, why you have 3 kids and all different personalities.
I have anxiety all the time. I have my whole life. Now I know why. So
I worry about anything. I should be medicated heavily, but I'm not.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. I have to be careful because of what I can hear and stuff. I can't. Yeah, if I go over like with alcohol or any of it, so I just stay. I just don't.
I'm out here raw dog in reality. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I could probably be diagnosed and put under the mental asylum.
Yep. So it's hard to swallow. I tell you, when this was first happening, I was thinking, what the heck? And no, there's nothing wrong with me. And then people started to point out, well, look what you do. And I thought, I just doing my job. I just, I didn't think anything of it. And this is way back when. And then I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought back when I was a kid and how I experienced certain things and how it just all added up. And I went, whoa, I just never thought about it.
What you said, do you plan on starting a podcast or a YouTube channel coming soon?
Yeah, I've started one, but I gotta be honest, because I'm an honest person. The tech part of it, I'm doing the best that I can. I introduced myself today, but there's no title. I got to put a title on it. So I got to learn. And my plan is to start a podcast too. Yes. I want to do it all.
Yeah, I think there's some value there.
Yeah.
I'm feeling my way through the dark now. So you have any questions, you can message me.
Yeah. I mean, and it also, just like, I was told that your darkest point in your life is your biggest power. I mean, use it as your power. I've been through a lot. I've had a lot of bad things happen. I've been in a lot of bad relationships, and opening up my life to Spirit and accepting the gift that I got. My whole life has changed for the better. I'm out. I don't have to deal with those kind of people anymore, and I'm super grateful.
There was I'm not going to look for a book right now because I don't know where it's at, but it's a comedian that I had on the show. Her name is Jen Fulweiler. She had a book called Your Blue Flame. Oh, yeah. About your life's purpose. And it's a good, if anybody out there, look it up, Jen Fulweiler. You'll have to fat finger through how you spell that. But she was on this show before. You can look through my past episodes. It's from like 2021, I believe. But she had a book called Your Blue Flame. It's like a test on how to find your life's calling. And it's basically what you're saying, how when you find what you're supposed to do, it just like ignites you like a jet engine.
I did that same thing. I did. That's again, I keep mentioning Brandaline, but in her course, she teaches you how to find your life's purpose. And mine, it all pointed to the fact that this is exactly what I am right now, what I am right now, doing what I'm doing.
Because I think I'm supposed to do this in some capacity. Maybe not a random woo-woo Bigfoot ghost podcast, but I think to some capacity, this is like my yellow brick road to Oz.
Right.
I'm going to meet somebody along the way that's like, no, come over here and do this. And I'm I showed you my video camera. I'm shooting a documentary right now. And it's just like,
that's awesome. Yeah. I want to learn how to do all that stuff. I'm just, when you're kind of coming out of it and getting involved in it, it's overwhelming to know how to do it all.
Yeah. And when you're awakening from the haze of the world of 40-hour work weeks and
the narcissistic fog that I was in for 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And you're just like, wait, this isn't our purpose. This is not what we're supposed to do. No. Nope. You start getting out of that and you're just like, you people are all slaves. You're all ants walking in a line.
Like them angels helped me leave my marriage. I'm telling you, they're such a blessing. I'm just so grateful. I just keep saying that, but I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a boost. Don't know what to do. Well, I'll go ahead and let you go and we'll wrap it up. And I said that at 1:11:11. Okay.
You did. I noticed that too.
Holy.
Can't make it up. Well, thanks for having me on here. I really, really appreciate it. What was
Brendaline's course? I want to give her props because she has help. She is trying a lot.
Her course, Brandaline.com, BrandalineJohnson.com, and her course is called Awaken. And there's a quiz on that that you can take that lets you know what you are. I mean, take the quiz to see if you're a medium.
My internet.
If you have any of these symptoms, is what she called it, or tendencies. And I had them all, so I took it, and sure enough,
here it is. Brandaline.com.
Yep.
That's such a hard name to spell. I just wanted to give her some props. She's going to be on she's been on the shows, Fourth Wall Break, but I'm probably going to craft that episode a little bit because this was me and her did our episode like in the middle of the week on like a random day out of cycle. So I wasn't in my right mindset and we were just meeting each other. So there's some pauses and stuff, but that's her website. It's pretty cool. I reviewed it a little bit before. I may do it just to get.
She knows what she's doing, and she sure helped me. And that course, it sure helped me understand what was happening to me. Because I tell you, when you first have it, you do feel like you're going crazy, but you're not crazy, not at all.
Does the quiz cost any money? I'm going to take it when we're done. I just found it.
No, you can take it for free.
All right, I'm going to take that quiz. Well, all right, I will let you go again. Hopefully, no angel numbers pop up. And thanks everyone for watching this non-typical episode, but we had to do it because the format is an all-encompassing, well-rounded view of everything that could possibly affect the phenomena of whatever's going on the other side. So this is definitely a foot soldier in the trenches of the quote-unquote paranormal. So thanks for being on again, Karen.
You're welcome.
You didn't ask to see my manager one time, so you're reforming. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to tell your buddies. Peace.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.